Now, for the longest time, I've been telling people since I've been teaching on AI for about 4 to 5 years now. And from its inception, I've been telling people this is going to go away, that AI on some level was going to disappear. Now, this is actually scarier than AI being in the public. And let me explain to you. And let me say this plainly. AI is not necessarily going away, but the label is. And that is the part people are not paying attention to. We are not watching the end of AI. We are watching the end of AI as a flex. All right. There's a very visceral reaction towards AI right now. It's just leaving a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, which is understandable. However, one thing I was very keen on is that you need to learn it, you need to understand it so that you will identify it. Because when it goes underground, it may even do more damage than good. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I use AI in a lot of different ways. I like it, but I also understand and know of its dangers. All right. That loud phase is dying of AI. The phase where everybody wanted to put AI powered on everything, AI powered business, AI powered coaching, AI powered planner, AI powered content, AI powered whatever. For a minute, that sounded innovative, right? But now it is starting to sound suspicious because the market is catching up. People are no longer asking, did you use AI? They're asking, did you actually know what you were doing? Rightfully so. And that is a very different question. The loud AI phase is ending. Every major technology has a loud phase. First, everybody announces it. Then everybody overuses it. Then everybody gets tired of hearing about it. Then the serious people stop talking about it. I'm the serious people. All right. I stopped talking about it years ago. All right. We stopped talking about it and started building with it quietly. That is where we are now. AI is moving from the billboard to the basement, from the headline to the back end, from the sales pitch to the operating system. And honestly, that is where it belongs because people are not impressed by the tool anymore. And they should not be. All right. Because access is not mastery. Everybody has access to a stove. That does not make everybody a chef. Everybody has access to a camera. Yet, that does not make everybody a filmmaker. Everybody has access to Canva. That does not make everybody a designer. And everybody has access to AI. That does not make everybody strategic. That does not make everybody original. That does not make anybody nor everybody worth paying. All right. The tool is not the talent. The tool is not the taste. The tool is not the judgment. The tool is not the business. It's just a tool. And the market is starting to remember that. Now, AI did not replace expertise. It exposed who had none. Okay? That is the uncomfortable part because AI can make weak thinking look dressed up. All right. It can make shallow work look formatted. It can make a person with no process, okay, sound, polished for about a good 5 minutes. But eventually the cracks begin to show because when everybody asks, a deeper question, there is nowhere to go. When the client needs judgment, there is none. When the work needs editing, discernment, structure, or correction, the person does not know what to do because they never had a system. They had a prompt. And a prompt is not a profession, okay? And as a prompt master, I can tell you that, all right? A prompt is not a framework. It is not experience. It is not stewardship. AI did not create that problem. It revealed the problem. Generic AI is becoming the new copy and paste. That is why people are getting irritated because they can feel when something is technically, complete, right? But spiritually empty. You know what I mean? It has words, it has formatting, it has bullet points, it has a nice conclusion. but it has no weight, no scar tissue, no lived experiences, no point of view, no original pressure, no cost behind it. Okay. And that is why people are starting to push back. All right. They are not always mad that AI was used. They are mad because the work feels cheap. All right. They are mad because the person charged for expertise but delivered automation. They are mad because they thought they were buying judgment and they just got a printout. Okay. That is the fracture. And we have to understand that you're going to have to show up with a level of expertise and authenticity like never before. And I'm talking about any and every form of enterprise. The problem is not all, AI. The problem is trust. People do not want to feel played. Okay. They do not want to pay premium, money and then feel like they received something anyone could have generated in 3 minutes. You know how you'll say, I could have just Googled that. They don't want to feel that. They don't want that. And this is where business owners have, they have to be honest. If your customer cannot tell where your expertise entered the work, you have a problem. If your client cannot feel your judgment in the result, you have a problem. All right. If the only thing separating your offer from a free prompt is a logo and a checkout page, you have a problem. That does not mean do not use AI. It means stop hiding behind it. Use it as support, not as a mask. This is the question I think every business owner needs to ask. Where did my expertise enter? Where did my standard enter? Where did my experience enter? Where did my taste enter? Where did my correction enter? Where did my refusal enter? Because your power is not just in what you add. It is in what you remove. It is in what you reject. It is in what you simplify. It is in what you refuse to let pass because it does not meet the standard. That is what makes the work yours. Not the tool, the decision making, the doctrine, the the operating system behind the output. Listen, a prompt is not a system. A prompt is a request. A system is a way of thinking. A prompt says, make me something. A system says, here is what we are building. Here is who it's for. Okay. Here is what it needs to solve or what it needs to solve. Here is what it will do and what it will not do. Here is the standard. Here's the structure. Here's the outcome, yada, yada, yada. That is the difference. Okay. And this is why AI is not going to make everyone equal. It is going to create more distance because the person with a system, okay, will become faster. Okay. And a lot of enterprises, a lot of corporations, a lot of businesses, even with all the pushback, are seeing this. Okay. It's about being sharper, more organized, more dangerous in the marketplace. All right. But the person without a system will just produce more noise, more drafts, more clutter. Okay. More things that look finished, but do not hold any kind of weight. AI amplifies what is already there. If there is clarity, it amplifies clarity. Okay. If there's confusion, bet your dollar it amplifies confusion. This is why the merchant wins. The merchant is not standing there begging you to be impressed by her tools. She sells the finished good. She sells the result. She sells the thing that works. The customer does not need a tour of every tool in the kitchen. They don't care. They just need the job done. They need to know the food is good. They need to know the product solves the problem. They need to know, the class makes the concept clearer. Whatever it may be, they need to know the system gives them relief. That is what people pay for. Not software, not a prompt, not a platform, the finished good. And if the finished good is strong, AI does not cheapen it. It just supports it. But if AI is the only reason the thing exists, the market is going to feel that too. And let me tell you, as we progress further and further, and as these things go underground, it's just going to continue to flesh out the ones that have been doing this. AI is not the business. The system is. So no, I don't think AI is, air quotes, going away. It will disappear. The label is changing. I think obvious AI is going away. You know, the selling points, the marketing points, that's going away. Okay, for it to scale, have any kind of stay, it's going to have to. Lazy AI is going away. Generic AI is going away. The look what I made in 5 seconds era is going away. But quiet AI, back end AI, operational AI, AI connected to real expertise, real standards, real doctrine, real deliverables, that is just getting started. The next move is not to quit using AI, because it's here to stay, y'all. It's here, but it's going to be microscopically surfaced. The next move is to stop making AI the headline. Okay? And they had to do that for stocks. We are possibly in an AI bubble. We shall see. The stock market is crashing right now. So, we shall see. But use it quietly. Use it structurally. Use it responsibly. Use it like infrastructure. Let it help you organize. Let it help you draft. Let it help you refine. Let it help you build. But do not confuse the tool with the business, because AI is not the business. The system is. And if your system is strong, AI becomes an advantage. But if your system is weak, AI will expose that too. And I think we're going to see the weakness in a lot of corporations, big and small, great. It doesn't matter. Government, if it's being used wrong, if it's used for greed, if it's used for nefarious acts, it's going to be exposed. It has no choice but to be exposed.